Hello everyone, it's me Colin on the ASCA League channel, and here we are for the Copperhead Amateur Series, Race 2 at Atlanta. We're coming after a really big crash fest at Daytona, so we're hoping we can get some green flag runs in here today. Maybe see some drivers really show their strengths. We see our point standings as it's pretty separated from first to last because of that big wreck at Daytona, but August Eberhard was able to come away with the win and win the first ever Copperhead Amateur Series race. We'll get it done here today, though, at the first mile and a half. We're going to have to find out. Here's your starting lineup. Davey Johnson, strong at Daytona, will start in the front row with Ryan Dunn, Penzel Pro Series regular. Row 2, Nia Deverett, the Scottish driver, and Max Stein making his first career start. Row 3, Blue Flare Motorsports teammates Jake Baskinger and Marta Zischel. Row 4, Zach Rain and Nick Vequez. Row 5, Castle Radcliffe, the UK driver, and Dan Klenick, the Saskatchewan driver. Row 6, Brian Thompson and Logan Sanders, looking very strong right now in that 83 car, very quick in practice. Row 7, Megan Johnson and Conrad Cooper, two United States drivers. Row 8, Webster Zygarde for Team Zygarde, and Chloe Baker on his outside. Row 9, August Eberhard, last week's winner, and Patrick Kermis, the German, for Rickwood Racing. Row 10, the Brazilian Julio Cesar, and Jack Porkins looking to rebound after his blown motor last week. Row 11, James Richardson and Andrei Popov, also for Team Zygarde. Row 12, Aiden Thomas, James Richardson's teammate, and Cody Smart coming off a bad wreck. Row 13, Garrett Zenor and Dylan Membrilla after a strong run at Daytona. Row 14, Carson Bowers and Ryan Shelton make his first start in the series. And that is your starting lineup as we are getting set to go green. There it is, green flag is in the air as the field rockets down out of the tri-oval to turn 1. Not a good start at all for the outside line as Ryan Dunn is going to fall back. Davey Johnson, though, for the JVS Motorsports Toyota is going to go to the front. However, don't look back. The Double T Motorsports driver of Nia Deverett, one of the females starting this race, is to the front now in second. Jake Baskinger in the 41 in the back there. He's trying to get up in the front. Toyota dominating the front of the field so far. Blue Flare Motorsports had very impressive qualifying starts with all three of their drivers in the front. And currently it looks like Jake is wanting to make his way to the front. Castle Radcliffe falling in fourth in that 38 Ore-Ida Chevy, the first driver to break the Toyota domination at the front of the field. Currently, though, Davey Johnson still holding the lead. Looking back at another Toyota here, Chloe Baker, one of the drivers expected to do well in this series after losing a ride last year with Maui Motorsports, and currently actually made a Copperhead Amateur Series ride in this car in a car for Maui Motorsports. She basically got sent down to the Copperhead Amateur Series for some more practice, basically. And excuse me, I'm wrong about that. She was racing for Double T Motorsports last year. They dropped her, and Maui Motorsports picked her up for the development team in this series. One of the many great things that come from having this series. Chloe Baker looking to do strong though in that 26 car. Here's Ryan Shelton for Sharkbite Racing, one of the Canadians in the field. We will be racing at some Canadian tracks later in the series though. This 24 car team, you see no sponsorship on the car. He barely made it in this race, but still it's a success because out of 23 cars, this small team is going to make it in the top 10. And definitely an impressive qualifying run for him. And the no sponsored car is trying to just make his way to the front, but currently the competition is very thick, and being on the outside is not where you want to be, so he's starting to fall back here. However, I expect that maybe we could see some great things out of this young rookie. Now, how about this front young rookie? Davey Johnson just flying away from the field. JVS Motorsports, created by Jose Vequez, the Penzel Pro Series Rookie of the Year last year, and currently has 3 cars in this series, 2 of them full-time, one being his brother Nick Vequez driving the 33 car. However, Davey is definitely holding the banner for that team. However, don't look now as Blue Flare Motorsports, run by Kyle Collins, a driver in the Penzel Pro Series as well, is going to the front with Jake Baskinger in the Combos Toyota. Collins had very high hopes for Baskinger and hoping that he could take the series win in this lead, but we're going to have to see, as Baskinger had a very bad run at Daytona, arguably made the accident worse because he had a problem in turn 4 and that escalated the wreck in turn 2 at Daytona. So think what you might, but Baskinger did kind of heighten the atrocity that wreck was. Anyways, as we look in the back of the field, one of the cars that suffered dearly was Cody Smart, driving the 90 car that race, however back in the familiar 88, even though we haven't even run a race with the 88 yet. But Smart this is his own team back in a familiar setting. This 88 car though, we weren't even sure if Smart was going to be in this car, but luckily he managed to have a speedy recovery, and the 80 is now driven by Smart rather than another driver. So the Ford Drive 1 Ford, however, isn't looking that well, so maybe Smart's taking it easy here at the beginning. Although it's not the beginning what counts, it's the ending. However, the beginning can definitely change what happens at the end, for either good or bad. You're looking up front, a person that definitely wants to make the beginning a good part is August Eberhard. Remember, he started back in, I believe, row 8, so Eberhard's been making up a lot of ground, and currently he's looking to get the second win of the series, and we've only run 2 races. Looking back to the field, Castle Radcliffe there in 4th, Dylan Membrilla with some new sponsorship in 5th, and then we have Conrad Cooper in the 27 car here in 6th. Looking back through the field, Jake Baskinger has fallen back a little bit. Megan Johnson, one of the females in the series as well. A lot of females riding the Copperhead Amateur Series league, and happy to see that. See what they can do in this series, and see if they can shake it up with the guys. Seeing it back here, there's Nia Deverett. She fell back a lot since the beginning. There's Ryan Shelton. This is Julio Caesar, as well as Patrick Curtis, blamed with causing the wreck at Daytona. And looking back, Jack Porkins blew a motor. He hasn't been doing much better this race. And all the way back to Cody Smart and Marita Zarichel, the Didgeridoo driver. And Chloe Baker has actually fallen back to the tail end of the field. So that is your rundown of the field as it stands. However, one driver is missing. That's Webster Zygarde. Engine difficulties on that car, or at least we're suspecting, because they currently have the hood up. No idea what it is yet, but the car isn't running anymore. So they're going to push that car back to the garage. Zach Rain, he's winning something, and that's winning the end of the leaderboard for the drivers running for the chase. 18th in points right now is not how you want to start. However, even worse, DVR Motorsports with him and Dan Klenick. Dan, his teammate, is running as 17th. The teammates are on the bottom of the board, and that's not where they want to be running. And currently, Zach's trying to make a name for their team right now at Atlanta. We got a caution out in the air. Gonna have to go see what that is, but Zach Rain and Dan Klenick looking to try to bring that team up from where it stands. Oh no, Ryan Shelton. And that's a shame because that team struggled and tried so hard to get in this race, and when their hard work paid off, looks like it's going to be taken away. And it looks like Max Stein's going to get in with them. Oh! Jeez, they were on each other for a long time. That was through the entire corner. And oh no, that's Dan Shelton that's Dan Klenick right there. And geez, I was just talking about Dan trying to have a good run, and he's going to get taken out early in a wreck here. We hope there weren't going to be any wrecks, but obviously that's not the case. They're riding on board Jack Porkins. Oh no! Jack Porkins is also involved. And the smoke rolling out the car, it almost looked like he was trying to make a move on Cody Smart, and the spotter didn't tell him that they were wrecking in front. A gutsy move to the outside nevertheless, though, and that's going to cost him. So now we have 2 cars out of the race, Jack Porkins and Webster Zygarde, both from different reasons. As we see pit stops happening here. Looks like we're going to get away with clean pit stops, though. Green flag is out as August Eberhard is going to be in the lead with Zach Rain falling right behind. Ryan Dunn will start 3rd, but Conrad Cooper making a jump on him. Going down through turns 1 and 2. Eberhard definitely looking like a strong contender, but halfway through the race, here's the running order all the way down. And we actually have reportings another car is dropping out of the race. That's Patrick Curtis with a blown motor. So we don't have any camera footage of that, but Curtis has dropped his car down pit road, and he has taken it straight to the garage. So that's now 2 engine failures of the day. But look at Conrad Cooper making his way up through the field here. Underneath Zach Rain, and Cooper with the Austin Construction Chevy is going to go to the front. So definitely a strong looking car to that 27. Looking back at Ryan Dunn, who started third, he's made his way back to the inside line. Look up there, that's Dylan Membrilla driving the Georgia State University car, also the sponsor of this race, the Georgia State University 250. Happy to come on board Dylan's car because of just how well he ran last week. I mean, no one really expected it. He was not scheduled to have a sponsor this week, but obviously it was the perfect opportunity for his university to step in and try to sponsor a car. They went with Dylan, and he's showing right now today. Oh no! Smoke! And a caution is out as big accident in turn 1. I cannot believe this as I saw smoke. That looked like black smoke. I'm not sure who that was from though. And the field is going to come around to take the caution. I'm a bit relieved though because it looks like we still have a decent amount of the field left. See, like 1 or 2 cars of pit road, so I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. Dan Klennock involved in another accident, but Chloe Baker is the one smoking back there. Oh, problems for Conrad Cooper. I believe this was the driver, and it indeed was. Conrad Cooper, your leader, blew up and completely just destroyed the front of the field. And look at the carnage. Carson Bowers went to, I think he actually made it through that. Davey Johnson's going to be involved. Brian Thompson and Chloe Baker. That's the only car we got to see. We're going to ride on board Davey Johnson. And oh, he's just going to get clipped by Ryan Dunn. Oh, and that's where Carson Bowers gets his swoop down. And an awesome avoidance by Maretta Zischel to make it through that wreck. Looking at Ryan Dunn here. Yeah, nowhere to go. That was Dylan Membrilla he hit. So, Julio Caesar, Cody Smart involved as well. So definitely more names than we thought. And that's where Dan Klennick got his damage. So a lot of drivers involved. I don't believe actually any of the drivers are dropping out other than Conrad Cooper at his engine expired. Make it 3 now of people that has had their engine expired. Well, the race will go on. Green flag's back out with 33 laps done out of 49. Castle Radcliffe does somehow manage to find himself out front, I believe from all the insanity that was happening when Conrad Cooper blew up. But he has Zach Rain right behind. Zach has been running in second pretty much this entire race so far. However, his teammate Dan Klennick is not making it easy for some of these guys, holding up Nick Vequez and Megan Johnson, as well as August Eberhard. August was running up front for a lot of this race, and now he is going to get held up. So yeah, definitely problems going on here as Dan needs to get out of the way now. We're actually receiving word Max Stein, for a previous accident, the one with Ryan Shelton, is actually being called to the ASU caller after the race for actions for aggressive driving is what we're hearing. And so Max Stein, not what he wanted in his first start, obviously, for Double T Motorsports. However, look at his teammate coming to the front, Nia Deverett, the female driver in the team, and she is showing that she can win here as she goes to the front, passing Castle Radcliffe. How about a feel-good story here? James Richardson for Richardson Racing. How good does it feel to be driving your own car and be running in the top 5? I think it's pretty good, but how about with your teammate right behind you, Aiden Thomas, the driver that qualified last week for them. James did not manage to qualify for Daytona, but both of their cars qualified for this race. James is actually the car. He actually has some back-end damage from that previous wreck, but he still seems fast. Looking in the back here, we got some cars off the pace. Cody Smart, very slow. And Davey Johnson was not lucky this time. Managed to make it through the Daytona wreck, but not this one. And Johnson, though, arguably, I believe he has the fastest car out here. Whether or not he's not going to get a good finish out of this, but I think Johnson is one to look out for, though, in the future. So just because this one race doesn't mean he's completely out of it. Zach Rain, though, into the second spot, trying to run down the 51 car. Logan Sanders has filled the third spot in the 83 car, so you might see a 3-car battle for the win here. I think Nia has to get her block on right now because she's going to have 2 hungry guys coming behind her. Looks like Rain is actually going to get pushed up by, I believe that was Castle Radcliffe, actually. And Radcliffe has made his way to the front. Logan Sanders has managed to get by Zach Rain as well, though, so Zach is now back to 4th. Nia Deverett, though, still holding suit out in front, the Nike Toyota for Double T Motorsports. 2 to go on the field now as they go through turns 3 and 4. Castle Radcliffe has closed the distance. Last week, Radcliffe involved in the giant accident at Daytona. This week, he's trying to go for a win. Final lap is in the air. Naya managed to make it through the wreck at Daytona, had a successful finish. Could she just expand her lead by infinity in this race with a win? And Castle needs this win to get back into the points game. Going down the back stretch, currently no moves are being made. Naya looks like she's going to be clear. She's pulling away out of turn 4. Checkered flag will go to the first female driver in the Copperhead Amateur Series to win a race. Naya Deverett will take the win. And Double T Motorsports is proud of that young driver right there, a future star in the Pennsylvania Pro Series for sure. So Naya Deverett got it done here today, qualified in the second row, and now she's going to be taking her car to victory lane. Naya doing those burnouts, as we are going to get your finishing results here. Deverett comes home with the win. Radcliffe's so close, but he'll finish second. Zach Rain there finishing 4th. How about Richardson Racing, the Walmart cars finishing 5th and 7th? Not a bad start for them. Max Stein 9th, but still has a meeting after the race. And August Eberhard, last week's winner, will finish 10th. Looking through the field, Carson Bowers there 15th. Davey Johnson for salvage is 16th. We see 3 engine failures in the field, 24th, 26th, and 20th. And how about Jack Porkins there, finishing 27th? Not what he really wanted to see there to end out his day. And here's your point standings. Naya Deverett on the top, but August Eberhard only 3 behind now. Davey Johnson is actually only 10 behind because he got a pole here today. But mark my words, I think Davey's going to be good. Garrett Sonora also showing strength, as well as Logan Sanders. And here are the guys that need to pick it up. We have an off week next week, but don't worry, right after that, we'll be going to Martinsville for race 3. Thanks you all so much for watching. The AC League, signing out.